So, Man City 0, Arsenal 1. The first thing I'll say is that I've seen us play hell of a lot worse at the Etihad against Manchester City. I mean, we play awfully against Man City in general, especially over the past couple of years. I mean, we beat them in the FA Cup semi-final, but in the league, we have been so poor against them, particularly away from home, and we've been on the back end of some really, really poor results against them. But yesterday, I'm saying I've seen us play a lot worse against Manchester City, which is an absolute given, but yesterday, I feel like that's not the point because we had a real opportunity to get something against this Manchester City side. And I felt we were value for a point. I don't think we played badly at all yesterday. I think we really matched City in terms of chances created, in terms of dominating the ball in periods of the game. And I really do feel like it's very unfortunate that we haven't come away with at least a point because I felt we were full value for that. And I do think we're responsible for that. I do think we could have been a bit braver. I felt particularly in the first half we were so conservative when we didn't necessarily need to be. I'm aware that Arteta is playing this still five at the back, morphing into a 4-3-3 sort of system, which worked so well for us last season, particularly against the likes of City. But I think we've got to be a bit braver and show a bit more belief in ourselves. We're a bit more defensively resilient at the back now with the likes of Gabriel coming in, who was once again phenomenal yesterday. Thought he had a great game. And I think if we're just a bit more courageous going forward, if we show a bit more belief in ourselves, then chances will come. But at the moment, we're just being a little bit too conservative and not playing with the full capabilities that I think we possess. I think there's so much talent in this team. When you look at the players we have going forward, Pepe, Willian, Aubameyang, Saka, I mean, there's so much talent there, and we're just not getting the best out of him because we're not quite giving that extra inch when we really need to be. That's not to say we didn't work hard. I think we did defend well. We were resilient, and it's just one poor moment where we've pressed a little bit too high that's caused us to concede a goal. I do think there were individual errors in the build-up to that. I think Bellerin could have done better. Ceballos was the one who lost his man originally, and Leno parrying it back into the path of Sterling. And this is something that's been a key theme with Bernd Leno. He almost made the exact same, I don't know if you can call it a mistake, but he created a similar opportunity for Riyad Mahrez almost immediately after we conceded the goal, parrying it right back into danger. It's something that I notice a lot with him. I think Arsenal fans notice it a lot. He does parry the ball back right into dangerous situations, and it's something that we didn't really notice as much under Martinez. And I don't want to get back into the whole Martinez-Leno debate because it's getting ridiculous now, but it is a horrible trait in his game that he does seem to parry the ball back into danger, and that's one thing that he really needs to eradicate. Whether you view that as a mistake or something that's unavoidable is up to you, but I think that the amount of times we're noticing it shows that it is something that can be avoided, and I would hope that we're able to coach that out of him. But it's frustrating to concede because I don't think we particularly deserved to at that point in the game. We were pressing well. We created a very good opportunity just before that, and we responded really well to going behind. And I'd say we had the better chances afterwards. I can't think of too many chances City created. In fact, we had that brilliant chance through Bukayo Saka, another one through Aubameyang. Saka was threaded through brilliantly by Granit Xhaka, and he played a ball across which was going to Aubameyang, which was brilliantly cleared by Diaz, I think it was. But I've got to say, City looked more resilient at the back with Walker, Diaz. Ake, I thought they looked a little bit more solid under a new system that Guardiola seemed to deploy. I couldn't quite work out what way they were playing, but they did seem to be a bit more defensively resolute and aware of the counter-attacking threat that we possessed. I mean, losing 5-2 to Leicester not too long ago, I think that certainly shored them up a little bit at the back and made them a bit more aware of counter-attacking teams, which we pretty much are now. But you've got to say the frustrating thing is, I mean, I'm talking about that game against Leicester. They put 5 past City. Leeds put a goal past City. We just needed to be a bit braver, and I think we definitely have got a goal in this game. But we did create very good opportunities. Creativity has been a problem at Arsenal this season. We're not creating enough shots on goal. We're not creating enough opportunities in general, but we did create, I would say, 2 clear-cut chances. That Saka one and the Aubameyang one. 2 excellent saves from Edison, and on another day, those go in. So frustrating, but we've got Liverpool and City out of the way now. We've lost 2 of them. We've lost them both. But I think we certainly performed a lot better than we have done in previous games. But it is frustrating when I do feel like there was definitely an opportunity there to not just get a point against City, but to get all 3. But again, we are missing creativity in this team. We do need to create more opportunities, and it's clear to see that so many people are calling out for Mesut Ozil, particularly on Twitter at the moment. I think we've got to accept he's not coming into this Arsenal team. It's not going to happen. For whatever reason has gone on there, he is not a part of Arsenal as far as footballing concerns go, which I find bizarre when the club are wishing him happy birthday and stuff on social media. But in terms of actually getting on the pitch, it's done for Mesut Ozil. I just can't see a way that he gets back into this Arsenal team. But even without him in the sides, I still think we've got creativity there. But we've just got to be more courageous, as I say. If we dominate the ball a bit more, then opportunities will come our way. And I'm pretty sure with Partey coming in, we saw 10 minutes of him yesterday, but I think with him coming in, particularly in that game against Leicester next week, I would be very surprised if we didn't play with a flat back four and then have Partey, Xhaka, maybe Ceballos, maybe someone like Willian or Saka playing ahead of them in a number 10 role. But I think that's probably what we'll go to, more into a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. We saw it against Sheffield United. As soon as we shifted into a 4-2-3-1, we'll see more opportunities come our way. But Saka was my man of the match yesterday. I thought he was phenomenal. The runs he made going forward, the opportunities he created for himself and for the team. The amount of set pieces he won was fantastic. He had Diaz and Rodri on a string all game. He was fantastic. And you look at Pepe on the other side. I don't think Pepe had a particularly poor game, but if Pepe makes the runs and the bursts that Saka does, then, you know, Saka on the left, Pepe on the right, it could be very, very dangerous with Aubameyang through the middle. And I think when you look at the team yesterday, it looked like Aubameyang through the middle, but it was actually Willian playing as a false nine, hybrid number 10 sort of role. And he was ineffective for the whole game. I don't think Willian was poor. I just thought he wasn't involved in the game. I don't think that role allowed him to be involved in the game. Worked very, very, very hard, but I still think with Willian, we're not quite sure where he's meant to play. I know he's got a lot of criticism recently. I don't think you can fault his work rate and contribution to the side, but in terms of assists, goals, output generally, it's not been great so far. I think in that game on Thursday, I'd be tempted to start him there in a position where we see him in the long term, at least for this season, and hopefully we can get a couple of assists or goals for him on Thursday night. But I want to see us be brave in that game. I want to see us, get as many chances on goal as possible, be ruthless, really, really take the game to, I can't remember who it is. Standard Liège we're playing on Thursday. But I really, really hope that we are a lot bolder, a lot more pragmatic. And then, we've got Leicester coming up, we've got United coming up. We need to win those games. We really need to win those games. I mean, if we're talking about progress, then losing to Liverpool and City is one thing. Two teams that have spent heaps of money, got phenomenal players. One's just won the league, one won the league the season before. We need to measure our progress by beating the likes of Leicester and Manchester United. I can, forgive us for losing to City and Liverpool, but Leicester and United are two teams that we do need to beat if we're going to start seeing progress on this side. If we fail to pick up, I'd say a maximum of, I think we need to get, I think 4 points is the bare minimum we need to get from those games. I think that's how we measure our progress, by the results against those teams rather than the teams in the likes of Liverpool and City. But of course, it wouldn't be an Arsenal game without talking about controversial VAR decisions. I say controversial VAR decisions. VAR wasn't involved in either of these calls, and that's probably the problem. We saw the Mane elbow against Kieran Tierney in the game against Liverpool, which in my opinion, and I'm sure of lots of other football fans, was a red card. And then we saw the Kyle Walker incident on Gabriel, which wasn't even reviewed at half-time, which I find mental. It's another red card. It's a high boot. It's a penalty. I'm just absolutely bewildered about how that is not a red card. And the fact that it wasn't reviewed, I find that I feel like it makes VAR redundant, and it makes me feel like, it makes me care a lot less about our league position, because I know there are so many things that are going against us. I know league positions are irrelevant at this stage in the season, but do you know what I mean? It makes me feel a lot less emotionally attached when things like that are going against us on such a regular basis. It's happened in 2 games where, if those decisions go for us, we pick up points. If we get a penalty at that stage in the game against City, it changes the game. If Mane gets sent off in the first 5 minutes against us when we play Liverpool, we're playing against Liverpool for 90 minutes effectively. It changes the game. These are key game-defining decisions. And it's just frustrating it's got against us again. The fact it wasn't reviewed, it feels to me like they're trying so hard to keep the game fluid, to keep things sped up, that they're so conscious that VAR takes time. But if they're not going to review it, then it's just baffling, just absolutely baffling. You see the intricacies that they go into when they look at offsides that are, a hair or a toenail offside. But then when you've got something as clear as the Mane elbow and the Kyle Walker high foot, it completely bypasses the system, and I don't understand it, and it's exceedingly frustrating. But that's not to excuse us not being a bit more brave, as I say, because we should have scored yesterday, and to not come away with at least a point is exceedingly frustrating. But as I say, we've got Liverpool out the way, we've got City out the way. These are 2 games that I think we all assumed before the season we weren't going to pick up any points in any way. I hate to say that, but that, it's a realistic assessment of where we are at the moment. Going away to places like this is not easy, and picking up points is even more difficult. So, we've got to, put our chins up in that game on Thursday night. hopefully get a resounding win and then take that into the game against Leicester. And as I say, against Leicester United, we desperately need to pick up a minimum of 4 points. But I think, you know, 6 would be fantastic. It'd be absolutely fantastic. These are two teams that we definitely can beat. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll speak to you very, very soon, guys. See you later.